Hey, um, going live very late today. So let me just set everything up. So that's not what. This is where I need to go. Okay. Yep, this looks fine. Let me check my YouTube. Sorry, it's just needs. Okay, this one's up as well. So let's share it around. Using Typescript. Twitch.tv. Correct. I guess. Nice. So I made some changes, deployed, and we could start chatting, and it can call our MCP tool. Sorry. So yeah, a lot going on. So just a sec. Yeah, I'm just like sending it to a bunch of people as well. Just give me a sec. Okay. I'm just sending it to different subgroups. I feel very spammy, but I guess that's what promotion is, self-promotion, I guess. Yeah, so okay. Almost done here. We'll jump into the code. Okay. I think that's enough for today. I have targeted the groups I'm in. Yeah, need to get used to it. Push traffic to where your work is, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is what we have right now. I just threw up a quick UI with Assistant UI, like how to build how building a chat interface is just a lot of work. Assistant UI is just this thing that gives you all of this out of the box. I've not styled or written anything here. You see, I even have this default thing is a lot of people are doing cool stuff that just make it so easy to do other things. So I think that's really cool. Okay. I need to add one thing. Where's the sync? Let me put this here. And in this case, I'll have the YouTube sort of live chat. Let me pop out the chat. If I close this, does this die? No. Cool. And then I also want to have my Twitch. My Twitch chat up, my stream manager, and then I could just pop this up as well and close this now. Nice. Hey, welcome. How you doing? Warrior Rapid. I was supposed to be up earlier here, but yeah, woke up feeling a bit off, so just catching up to it, so at least I can get something done. Anyway, I was talking about what I have done so far. So I worked a little bit on the project yesterday, and we have a simple client UI. I set up Clark, and you can log in with Google. And this is important just because we need your access token so that we can chat with your Google Drive, right? So that's the main reason I have that set up. And then I used Assistant UI. So let me show you assistantui.com. These guys are really cool. They're in the current batch of YC, and they're like a ShadCN for chat apps. By just installing Assistant UI, it adds components and all these things out of the box. It's like really insane. I have not written a single line of code here other than just like setting up Assistant UI, which is nice. So I can already start chatting. So we know we can search files. So I was able to connect both of those two things end to end. So if I do something like, what files were made within December 2024. So this is going to look at my Google Drive. and it's going to send a chat, right? It's going to send, okay, so here are the files that were created in December: resolutions with boo, scanned, clutch foundry, highlight video folder, social media size, blah blah blah. Yeah, these are all like files I have, and I was able to set up Mastra, the agent, on an API endpoint. So the app is like it's a Next.js app. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, I guess there's something in the air, Jana. Yeah. Just hope we get better. Just a sec. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I set up Mastra. I set up the MCP tool thing using MCP run. This is just like directly from the example, and then I was able to just tweak a few things here. In my case, we need to pass an access token as a parameter to when we do these calls, but I don't want the AI agent to have this knowledge that it needs to send an access token. So I'm just like using the tools I've created are prefixed with like Google Drive, because that's the name of the MCP I set up, and then I just refine the schema a little bit. So I filter out access token if it's required, and I filter it out from the properties. So the shape of this thing is something like this is just to build out the schema. Yeah, a lot of custom tweaking here and there, just so that I can have that schema when I create a tool. This is how you like create a tool in like Mastra, right? And then you have your execute function. All of this is just calling the tool, and then now I just pass an access token here directly. So yeah, I'll maybe just give like a better like run through when we go. But yeah, so the chat side is working, and I'll come back to the client side here now when I'm building more elaborate pages, more elaborate experiences with everything, right? Like the different pages, the flows, and how all that looks like. Right now, our focus now just needs to be on the tool and how to make that tool work properly, and maybe coming back and giving like better instructions to the agent on the client side. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put the chat on this side. Just a sec. Nice. Yep. Okay, let's jump back to effect. I was experiencing some issues and I don't know what the error. So let's go back to the servlet. Why is the DB here? Okay. No. I refactored some of the code by the way. So let me show you how I was able to like write some really nice cool effect. Some effects kind of code. Like it's just me experimenting and like how far can I take effect. So I decided to go full on like the functional way. Because there are like two ways in which you can write like effects. One is very familiar to us on how like we build functions. So like I'm going to show an example. So if we had like example function, and then you do like let's say effect.gen, and then you have like a generator function inside here. you could now just start writing like effect. So like, let's say you could have like const random is equals to, and then you could like yield it. You have like a random thing, right? Random next or something, right? So this like generates a random number, and then you have this, it's a number because like you've sort of yielded it, and then you could do something else, const, else, and then you also yield another effect, yeah, let's say like 9. I can't call it an else. Right? So you have like these things. So it's like writing async await code, right? And all this is effects, and at the end you could literally just return random plus hello, right? And if you look at this is an effect function that you've written. So it's a function that returns an effect. Hating for Chris, good morning, GM, right? So this is one way to write like an effect, so this is actually an effect, and it's very familiar to how we write JavaScript and TypeScript stuff. But then in this same example, I could have like now this thing, and say I want to eventually generate a random number and a 9 and then return the addition for that. So in this case, I could start a flow, right? So flows and pipes are very similar in effect. It's just that a pipe starts with a value and a flow just starts with an effect or functions. So like the first input is a function and then you can continue. Pipe starts with values. So I could just start with, actually I think this should just be a pipe because effects are values, right? So I could pipe you could have a pipe and then just pass everything there, or I could literally just have random next and then pipe, right? And then that becomes like the first value, and then I can do the next thing, and then I could effect dot succeed with a 9. But the problem here is the pipe receives the output of like the previous step. So for me to do this properly, I could an example would be, because we want to return the addition of these two, right? So I could do like an effect.map, or because the previous version was like an effect, and this here is the actual, if you look at it, it's a number, and it's a number from the previous. So this is random, right? If I was to properly name it, so let me just do that, right? So we have our random, and then we could, because we want to just do these things, add them together, I could now just say random plus an effect dot succeed 9. No, so because I'm already inside an effect, I could just do like a 9. Yeah, still trying to wrap my head around it. And this same thing, like this random dot next pipe, I'm piping that random number and I'm passing like a 9. These two also, as you can see, returns an effect of number, never errors, and doesn't depend on anything, and same as this one. So this is like the two ways you could write effect. One is very functional and stuff, but not many people would like to write things like this, like directly like this, so that becomes a problem. So you could still write effect in a very TypeScript-ish way. You just, if you write a lot of async await code, you just use generator functions instead. But what makes me like really like effect is this, functional way of doing things. So I reworked the example we had yesterday. I don't even know if you can remember, but like here in my Drive client, what I want to do is to list the files, right, and then return that value back. So this is the MCP. It's going to go call my Google Drive using the query and all the parameters it was given, and then like return everything back. So in that case, so if you think about it in like TypeScript ways, you have a function, you're going to receive like these parameters, and you're going to make a request and get the request and check if response to status is like okay, and then either return an error, and if it's cool, you return what you need, right? So in terms of effect, this is like how I was able to do it, right? So I started with so this thing just receives the params, but I also need to pass base URL access token and stuff. So we just have this high order function that just helps with that. So this is like make download method. I think there's a problem with that. We're going to look into that later. So I start with object.entries for this param. So this is just dividing, like it's an object, but then I get a list of key value pairs that I can work with. And then I do an effect for each, which now takes in something like an iterator of some sorts, and then uses this callback value on each of them, right? It's just like a regular for each. And then, so here I have the single key value, right? It's a string and then a string number or boolean with this on the side. And then I do pattern matching, right? So I pipe this into a match. So I match based on the value. You could also match based on the type, right? You could literally match based on the type, which I think is really cool. And then I match when, and this is like an interesting thing I'm doing here. As you can see, I have this list and I'm matching like this tuple. Is it tuple or tuple? And the first one I'm saying match is query, and that's just literally checking if the first element in this list or tuple is a query. And then comma, the next thing, match.nonempty string. This match literally tells it, hey, I have two elements in this thing value that's coming, and the first element needs to be exactly the literal query and then an empty string. And then I just use that and I make the one like sort of search URL param, right? So the first one is like a query. And then the second part, I'm also matching a literal access token and then an empty string, and then passing the access token, creating the access token like URL param, like just that individual thing. And then or else for everything else, I just do the key value thing and then they'll work. And the best thing about this is I can set the concurrency. Now, nothing here depends on like the previous value. So I can just set it to unbounded, and yeah, this thing, I'm writing concurrent code. This is a concurrent for loop, which is cool. Now I get everything, and those are like partial params because I now add the API key later, because it wasn't part of this initial params, and I get this API key from the top, and then I get to the next one, effect dot, and then I take these query params and build a full URL. So the base URL, the question mark, and then join all the query params with an ampersand. So I have like, a full URL now. So all this part was just getting an object of params and building out like a query param. And I was able to just pipe it and using like pattern matching. And then I take the request URL and make a HTTP request. So this one is just a global helper because if you don't remember, this MCP is going to be compiled in WASM, right? It's going to be in WASM, And this is just a helper that helps us do the networking or like send like networks. So request the URL, I pass it here, method of get. This is now going to return a response, and then now I match that response, right? So you have to think of, you have something here that's going to return something, and then the next thing needs to like just accept it as a parameter as you go. So I match that value, and then I'm checking if the status is 200 and this is a string. I'm using schema for matching here, which is okay. I could literally just use match.string, right? And that's the same thing as, you know, it's just matching if it's a string as well. In that previous one, now I was checking if like it's an empty string, but like, yeah, it's just literally just the same thing. Yeah, okay, the body, I don't know what this request might return. The body might be an empty string, so it's okay. Let me just put a string, and if that's okay, then I succeed with the type of content type text, and I send the body. And then or else is a way to just close your matches. You have to finalize your matches. You can have them be exhaustive or something, but like or else is also a nice way. So if it's not this, if it's not a 200, or else do this. Now you might be wondering why I'm succeeding, but like it's because we want to return, you know, like a proper response. We can just can't throw. And that's not really an affecting, it's just how this one works. We have to send back a response, but we just say if it's an error or not, right? So I succeed with that, and that is literally the whole function that just does that. It's a nice pipe. I think I like it, but I'm also like, am I just so excited that I have this new thing under my tool belt and I want to use it? So I'm sort of like being, cautious around that. So yeah, now, that was just an example of me. I needed to just pass and like show you guys like what I've been doing with the React. I mean, not with React, like with effects. I know I just say React. So now I have this new method now that now should download the files. I was looking at the request, like the API docs from Google, the Google Drive API, and I think I was using the wrong method, or I sort of need to figure out which is the best method for me to use. So I think I'm just gonna take a look at that. But ideally, I already also made it, which was just like this one. The pipe is a bit different because I was getting the params, building up the download base URL, piping again, just as we did before, the query params, the for each, and building the key values. Okay. Yeah, cool. So we create a key value. I think there's a problem here. I need to access token this thing. Is it coming in? I mean, how did I match it here? Yeah, so I need to make the access token like an underscore. Okay. So this is for each key value. Instead of just immediately succeeding, I can match that value and then do this. Oh, sorry. This right here. So I match that, and then this is going to be a match that or else. What's going on? Yeah. Okay, so I was just setting up this pipe. I wonder if there's an easy way to do it, but yeah, there's this repetition I'm doing here. But yeah, so I can match it when it's access token, I return it like this, or else I just do that. And then the bash shell params, so I do concatenate that base URL. Cool. I think these two are very, what can I say, this, especially this part, like build params, this part, this is really similar, because you have to build it. I guess once you receive the params and then you make everything work. Actually, I think till the end. Is there a way? Is there I'm changing response really? Right, no, there's no way. So we can like extract that, and so that it's just like one function. Because if it's string, I'm just returning this, and if it's an error, I am returning that. Okay, yeah, so that's very similar in both cases. And I think, is it like the whole flow? No, it's just that up to here where I'm changing the base URL. Because, and then I start with like an object.entries. In here, I'm using the query params. Up here, I just use the params directly. So this pipe, that pipe could literally be this could be one function. The only different thing is I also get this base URL that I need to use later down the line. I also use this access token later. Okay, so I'll fix that. I'm going to do that later. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so now, yeah, okay, so. Okay, so just a second, guys. I have like a guest. Careful. Yeah, so I have guests. And just a sec. Now, I'm trying to debug. There's a problem. I have just made this work. I had just made this, not this one, this right here. And the method it was using was apparently not the appropriate one when I was looking for like downloading the content of a Google Doc. Yeah. So I want to check and see if if I was using the right one. So Drive API Google. Get this one. So I don't want to search files. I want to like either download and export files. So I want to understand the difference between like downloads and like actions. So blob file content using the file.get. Okay. That's good. Hey, I have the audio back. Anyway, so I've realized the issue. So there are two things. There are Google Workspace documents. So these are like Google Docs, Google Sheets, slides, anything made within the Google Workspace environment. And then this is regular files. And I need to identify whether the file is a regular, like it's a regular file, like just an image I uploaded on Google Drive, or it's a Google Workspace document. And if it's a Google Workspace document, I use the export method, and in this I use the get method. Okay, and now in my case, if we look at the download params, okay, where do I set like the method? Okay, seems to be, yeah. Let's look at the API, because the only way I can always understand how these guys are doing it is using this API Explorer thing they have here. So the method I need is files. Let's start with files.export. Okay. Okay, so you need to add that towards the end. How about the files.get? This one, right? Okay, so this one is just file ID, nothing extra. So I need to add the export part to the URL. Just confirm try files, file ID, and then export. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I can have my file ID and the MIME type. Okay, so this is the get version where you just like download any blob data. For the revisions, you do that, and then you see like the way you want to download it. Application PDF. What's the MIME type for Markdown? Or CSV or something like that. Text Markdown type. Cool. Let's look at all these other MIME types. I need to do something else. No, let's go home. Open the file and it'll tell you the move. Okay, so we have plain. How about CSV? Okay, it's a text CSV. So solving this problem becomes a little bit interesting. We need to pass this MIME type as part of our params, right? This needs to be part of our params. especially in the files.export way. If it's an export, it needs to be this. And if it's a get, we don't pass like a mem type, but an alt of media. Interesting. So should this be different tools? What do you think? So I could have, I call this download. It's a type. So I could have, I could just rename them the same way. I could have these tools have the same way, like the same naming convention as the actual API. So because this one was drives.list, I could have this one be drive. Instead of download, let it be get. Then so that's renamed it everywhere. I'll just use get file here, and this one should also be like list files. I realized I actually don't need the flow there because I'm not like passing multiple functions in here. It's just a single matcher, and it still works quite fine on the pipeline. So this one also needs to change the name from handle to handle list file. Okay, let's change this download file to get file param. Now that's just renamed the import. Let's do that here. Get file params. What seems to be the error? Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I need to change this to get params. Okay. Yeah.
The code.
Mm.
That's what you do.
Yeah. This is what I do.
Do you find you recording it on the same no waiting for anything?
Yeah, it's been a crazy, it's a busy-ish day. So, Brian Gito, are you still here? Can you be my mentor? What does a mentor do? What do you want me to help you with? Welcome to the chat. So at this point, there's like a lot of repetition happening here, definitely. I'm going to refactor this part of the code, but we'll see how it works. Now, this one, using this get params, which we need to change to something else. So this should be like export params. Okay, sorry for there's some noise. So this one doesn't have this alt. It's going to have the MIME type, and it's not going to be optional. Going to be, I just make it a string because like there are so many MIME types. I think those are the file ID and the MIME type are the important ones. Then we get the access token, alt, callback fields. Okay. Cool. So this adds the access token. Yep, this looks good. So the export params will come here, export base URL. That makes sense. Okay. I add the access token, everything else goes the way it's supposed to. I add the key, and then I'm good. And then I just call the accept. Is that the MIME type? Let's just have a look. It needs a JSON. Okay. Okay. I think it's done. Okay, I think it's okay. But let's test it and see. Oh yeah, I don't think I've handled. Oh, I'm in like a different location. So I have handled get file. I'm gonna have handle export file. Yeah, I know I didn't write it apparently. So I need to come to flows and then nice. Sorry about that. Okay, so I have my flow has handle list file, handle get file, handle export file. So this, I need to change this so that it's not an error. I need to get to the failure. Yeah, this one. This is like the error return type. Because in this case, I am doing this absurd much, which throws an error, but I just want to return. Clinton, I'm using new Vim. So this response thing that's coming, it's a call tool request. So let's just yeah, so you might hear some noise in the background. It's okay. Nashughulikia lunch. Yeah. So Clinton, I'm building an MCP tool, and the thing is, I'm also using Effect, which is this sort of standard library for TypeScript or Effect. For TypeScript, it's not like an official thing, but it makes a lot of things local. Like right now, I have this pipeline that I'm building, and I'm using pattern matching and stuff like that to help. So the input comes here, I match it based on value, and then something like a handle list file, which is still a match. I could actually just inline all of these things. I don't think it's too wordy. So that's exactly like I'm matching. If it's this, call that. If it's this, call that. Yeah, so it's I can. So next, the thing with, okay, so are you asking about effect itself or like the agent stuff? Because honestly, this is not even React. This is just like the backend part of stuff which I'm writing now with the effect. The React side, it's there, but like we've not even gotten to that part. Right now I'm still building this thing and just like making it work. But yeah, effect, anywhere TypeScript runs, effect can run. And you can choose and pick the things that you want to work with when it comes to effect. So let me just send you the link. Check them out. They have some really nice stuff, but it's also very huge. So this is me even just trying to get more familiar with it as I work with stuff here. So let's build it. Oh. Yeah, I apologize for the sniffles and stuff like that. I've been feeling so like recently. Oh yeah, there's something I've forgotten to add. Let me just so we have download file. We need to change this. So get file content. Okay, this is okay. So let's replicate this. And have like the other method we've written, which is export. Cool. We needed to add that there. Let me look at the schema. I want to make sure MIME type is not optional. Yeah, it's not. That's cool. Okay, let's build. Head over to our client and see if it's going to be any better. Like, it's very funny. I was supposed to have done way much later, so much later, but like, okay, I woke up not feeling so good. A lot has been happening or not happening on my side. Okay, so we've built it. It should be working. So let's go interact with the app and just see if it can know what to do with like what's required. Okay. Okay, so we're loading it up. Nice. Let me zoom in this a little bit. I'm literally just asking it just to see if it has found the tools that it needs. Cool. So it has registered the get file, which is previously download export file, with the specified mem type, such servlets. These are now like other admin type of tools. So yeah, so look for files made within Jan 25. So it's connected to my Google Drive and it's looking for the files and all that stuff. So let's just see if it's going to pick the right tool and get all the information back. Cool. So it found 7 files modified in January 2025. Salary transparency responses. It's a spreadsheet, keyless blockchain accounts, presentation, notoriety front. I think these are shared with me. It's crazy. Hackathon registration, Ghana Data Science Summit. It's a form. Goals for 2025. Document, Manstack, full stack, JD, external. Interesting. So it has found these files, and I don't know if we have any logs to help us. Yeah, so you see the query it used, modified time 2025 01 to this and that. So this is like the AI building up the query, the agent itself. So it's smart enough to know like the Google Drive query syntax and stuff. So based on this, let's see if it's going to get information from a spreadsheet. So let's look at goals for 2025. give me a summary of the goals for 2025 document. Let's see if it's smart enough to pick the right tool for the job and stuff. If it even encountered an error. Okay, let's wait and see. Okay, so it can't get the content. Let's try and see what it's trying to do. So we started with a search, and this was this part where it got like all the different files, and then export files content in acceptable MIME type. Cool. This is the right thing it should go. So it did like the file ID text.plain. So what are the params that was sent? Something is not like working quite right. This was the context sent, and it did call the right tool. I think let's try and log the actual responses that we get. Oh yeah, that's what we need to. So this is the tool that it logs. We just have like the full response. Let's try and see what's going wrong, because I really haven't figured that out. So none of this chat is like saved or anything. Cool. Oh yeah, it found Google AI Studio stuff. That's interesting. Yeah, Google are very interesting. Like they have Google Drive and they just store the charts on Google Drive. Why build a different database? This is cool. I actually think this is really cool. Okay. Nice. So let's follow the logs. So this was the response. You can see it found the kind of file, the MIME type, the IT, and the name. It looked for created time within February 2025, which I think is really cool. So now the query, budget, and MIME type. It's searching the file. It's searching for the file. That's crazy. Yeah, they're using the tools at their disposal. Application means spreadsheet. So this was just, it was searching for a spreadsheet. Okay, it got 2 files. Did it not get what I was asking? Okay, I will retrieve information. Okay. So it's definitely 2 files. Let me just give it this ID. Actually, let me just see, because users won't have like access to IDs and stuff. The most recent one. So it should do a query, organize them, and then pick. I hope it does that. It got an error. Sorry, but your computer or network may be sent it automatically. To protect our users, we can't process your request right now. Okay. Is there something I need to do before? Also, it's using the get file. It should not use the get file. It should use the export. Let's see. Let's look at docs. There must be something I need to do. I mean, it must suspect I'm a bot. I get that, but they have an API, right? So like a computer will use an API. So maybe there's something I just need to see. Maybe I need to do something fast before trying to download. Before you download, it's right here, man. Okay. Before you download or export file content, verify that users can download the file using capabilities can download field on the file's resource for description of the file types mentioned here. Let's look at that. Okay, so maybe I just need to verify first and then continue, and then it will know the metadata for our file. Some resource methods such as files.update require a file ID. Use the files to retrieve the ID. Okay, so yes, we're using files list and we're getting the ID. Kind drive ID, file extension, content hits, thumbnail. Writer can share, viewed by me, MIME type, export links, parents, icon link, shared, owners, sharing user, permissions, as thumbnail spaces, folder color, is authorized team drive ID, capabilities, can read, can copy, can delete, can download. So what did they say we need to check? Capabilities can download. Okay. Okay. So if we this is a huge thing, like, you know, we can see all these things, but when we look at our API response, for instance here, files, we were just getting kind, the MIME type, ID, and the name. So we maybe need to add more fields. And cool. Let's see. We can add the fields. Now we need to okay, let's go back to the tool, the MCP thing. File ID and the MIME type. No. This is this file. Oh, I still call it search files. So I only tell it that it can pass a query. So I need to add another field. Let's make sure it's in my schema. List files, true. Yeah, actually wrote almost everything here. Query, page size, corpora, drive IDs, spaces. I don't have fields. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah. I need to add fields. Yeah, it's not here. Should I make this an optional? No, I think I should just always, at the very least, get the can download field, the capabilities.can download field. So let's get back here and let's add okay, and then I'm also going to make this required. I'm just going to change this name just so that it's like in tandem with the rest of everything. So let me just make sure the client so it doesn't get to the client, it gets to the pipeline. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, let's make this work. Let's push that and see how everything is going. If you need to know anything about like what I'm building, why I'm making some decisions, or if you see a typo, just let me know. Okay, so that was a push. Let's see how it all goes. This is the one. Do I need to add? Okay, let's just see based off the schema instructions if the agent will like figure it out, or if I'm just going to have to add more instructions to like the agent directly. Okay, so what did it send? It finally got it. Oh, she got everything. Let's see. Okay, so oh, the last one it just did a star. I don't think it should do this because that's a lot of information. Then we have fields, ID, name. Yes, I need to give it an example. It doesn't know what to do. And the example we get here is this. We do this. Let me add the next page token. There was a typo here. Yeah. Context, I guess. In this case, that's why I'm using also Google Flash, just because it has a really large context window. It can help with a lot of things. What's going on? It didn't get the example. Just a sec. Yeah, it's still. Wait, could it be like there's a problem? Has this thing been published? Did it get the right one? 4 minutes ago. Export list file fields. It doesn't have the full. Wait, this seems to be a discrepancy. So it ends here, and this end, I think that's just before I gave the example. So let's try and do that again and see. Ah, yeah, okay. Now it's updated. And is it like ID? Yeah, it's ID. Okay, we'll work with that. Let's see. You should get the full instructions now, hopefully. Wait just a sec. Sidelined kiddo. Okay, so it seems like the query failed because of an invalid field selection. I'll try again with the... Okay, so maybe I gave it a wrong example. Next page token files mime type modified time. Should it be like let me see, maybe the docs have it. It could do this. So we do have an owners object, if you can remember that, right? It's here. Content, parents, owners, right? There's like an owners list, and in here it could just use the query to do something like this in owners, this in writers, property has scheme as value, app properties. Interesting. But I think I could also use this. I'm just trying to figure out whether for the capabilities, I also, you see how we have files and then it has brackets and the things to bring it there. And then add some more. Just like a more detailed. This is the same. So users who on the phone. Okay. No, I'm not. Okay. Documents. Oh yeah, I also need to tell it. So like Microsoft Word, map into the following MIME types. This is a markdown, text markdown, cool. I think we can use markdown or plain. That's really good for like documents, spreadsheets, text CSV, I think is really good to work with. Presentations, they can also be plain text. Interesting. I think we can just do that and see if we can get any information. But like this thing is multimodal, so we can try and like see how we can pass PDFs and stuff like that. App scripts, Google Vids. Okay. Let me try and change these capabilities. Example that I gave it and make it like this. Let me see. I don't know if this is the right way, but I just have a feeling. Because it reverts to before that change. So capabilities.can download introduces some bugs. I just guess it's the wrong syntax of how to do it. I don't get the last part where you say it because it reverts to before that change. What do you mean? I just think it's like the wrong syntax to query. And let's see if this improvement has like made it better. And the last time we like started building immediately, we saw like an issue. Let's see if our tool is like updated over here. Still not, so let's just wait for that and then see. So yeah, so the tool we're building is an MCP Google Drive, and I'm using mcp.run, which is like one of the platforms that have like popped up that host like MCP servers and stuff. I want to try different ones and see. There's also another one called Composio and stuff. So we're just learning as we go. I did push, right? Just build it and make sure it builds properly, and then it still builds it. I'm just checking the description here to see if it's been updated like the way I needed to. I could not find like a Google Drive MCP on MCP run, so like that's what I'm building, and then hopefully we get to see. Yeah, it's cool now. Just up to 10 minutes ago. Nice. I think the thing has some delay. Yeah, let's see how it works. Seems to be an error. Let's see what it sent. I think. Oh yeah, okay. It did get capabilities. What did you send? Yeah. Capabilities can download. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be done. Not like the dot format. Invalid field selection, invalid parameter. Selection ID. What did it do here? Fields. Oh, it just did this without the files within it. Like, why didn't you just listen to the example I gave you? Jesus Christ, man. I think I need to add like stronger instructions to the agent itself and tell it like, make sure you do this, because that can clearly sort of things. Now this is I've not dealt with like evals, like ways to evaluate your prompts and your agent stuff. This is like might be a good place. So hopefully later down the road we can now start doing evals for these things and yeah, get my hands dirty in that direction. Yeah, but I like that it knows how to query now. Cool. So here's the list. Okay, so let's see if we can actually download the account download to. But is this honestly just the only thing we need to do? Okay, let's see. Let's ask it to get the contents of the budget Google Sheet and give me a summary. Let's test and see if it's smart enough to get it in CSV and then like work with it. Yeah, I can't seem to. Auth token was passed in the query. Please send it in authorization header instead. Interesting. What? Okay. No, so let's look at this. So auth token was passed in the query parameters. Did I like mess up? First of all, which method did it use? Export, yeah, cool. I have this access token, and then the HTTP. But we've literally been doing that. Huh. Okay. Documentation time. Was there a MIME type provided by the way? Yeah, it chose the correct MIME type. That's nice. This is authorization header, and I think I did that. See? I have it here. Should I just not add it here? Let me send an empty string and see if that's going to make anything. But when I come to the API here and I come to like drive and then files.export, file ID, let me see if I can test it. Okay, it closed it. Like, I'm going to get the details. It's not going to do that. File not found. It needs the auth token. I think I have my access token somewhere here, right? No, I don't log that. Okay. See, there's an access token in the query params. If I write this, you clearly see. How am I supposed to use this though? If I just click this, it does do this. Okay, let me see. Let me move it on the side here. And then see if this actually works. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, let's figure it out. Because yes, it's in the query params, but it's also here. Base URL. Wait. Export, yeah. That's the right one, right? Get the v3 files, the file ID, and then export, and then you start everything else. Cool. No, not here. I can't log. It's just like WASM and everything. What's like the accept header? Yes, it is application JSON. So that's fine. Let me just use the ID directly on the chat app, and then I see what it could do. What was the ID? Oh, it's here. Yeah. Okay, let's remove it. Let's remove it from the URL. But that's crazy because like literally the example shows it. Maybe they've updated the docs. Authorization, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Clinton, I think that's maybe the issue. Let me just do that and then see. It's free right now. Let's see if this one's updated. How would I even know? Maybe tell me the minutes ago, 14 minutes ago. XTP plugin view, name Google Drive, extension point. Yep. Updated at 6:12:10. Yeah, it's seen. That's like now GMT. Okay. It's like they don't know this. The dashboard is the display has an issue. Like I think the updates are going on and then it doesn't like update properly. So just copy that text. Let me remove this, and then yeah. This thing. Where was it? It wasn't passed in the export file. File ID. Here's the thing. It's the way we've written that function. Also, there's a problem. Just by the fact that I've removed. Just by the fact that I have. Now where am I? No, not here. So client. I did remove, but I'm still passing these things here. So I need to bring this. If it's access token, let me return an empty string for now. Okay. And then here, where I'm just going to filter and any param, that's like I could literally just I could just do boolean like that, because like an empty string, when it's passed through the boolean thing, it's like a false. So I filter them out and then I concat at the end with that. So like this empty string is not included because this is just going to be an empty string. The rest are like key equals value. And then yeah, with that done, this should not have any access token thing. Okay. I really hope this one. I really hope this is the issue, or like, am I changing the wrong method? I could be changing the wrong method. I think it's the right one. Could I be changing the wrong method? Let me see. Okay, I'll just check before. Yes, I'm changing the wrong method, man. Bruh. And these things look the same. I need to refactor this very soon. So this, if it's access token, do that, and then bruh, this is crazy. And then in my authorization I have that. I was changing the wrong method, man. Yeah. Because the list files works and access token is in the URL params. So it's very weird for a method of like the same verb, it's still a get and access token is not allowed there, but like it is allowed in like another very similar method. I think that's very weird. Maybe not intended, but like it's weird. 12:16, yeah, sounds about right. Just crossing our fingers, we see. The requested conversion is not supported. Or it did a text plain. Let's do a text CSV. Nice. It works. Oh yeah, so no access tokens on query parameters. Got that. Access token, cool. So it got the CSV type, current, equity, blah blah blah. Nice. So you can like, yeah, cool. This page contains financial information, including account titles, current balances, incomes, expenses, fees, and initial balances. It accounts like equity, M-Pesa, equity one, monthly loan, salary advance, Sensible, branch, Etika. Cool. The sheet tracks balances. Do you have any specific questions about the data? Cool. It's working. Let's try and just like get another file and then see. Man, I need to give you proper instructions. What have you done? Yeah, this thing again. Cool. So let's look at this JD. Yeah. Nice. It's all working. So you get the readme. Please note this job openings. Blah blah blah. Legos and everything. Yeah. So about Punch Digital delivers innovative. They're looking for talented developers. Responsibilities, requirements, proven experience, bonus points. Why Punch? Legos type of work. Paid in NG and per month. 400 to 800. A link to a Google Forms application. Nice. Yeah. We can now fetch file content. So I want to see if I can get like blob data, because if we look at what we have here, if you go to the top, I'm not searching files like download and export files like, yeah, let's just right. So export is for like Google Workspace documents. So if you have your Google Sheets and all those things, you can work with that. Now we want to figure out like the other types of files, right? So if I have like an image or a PDF, I guess it's not covered here. How do we get this data back? Is it like base64 encoding and all that stuff? And then what do we do with it? So use the get. Users with edit permissions can restrict downloading by read-only users through setting. Okay. Partial downloads. This is for like big files, definitely. Partial downloads involve downloading only a specified portion of a file. You can specify the portion of a file you want to download by using the byte range. At an earlier version, long running. To download the content of blob files during long run, use the files.download method with the ID of the file to download. You can optionally set the ID of the revision. This is the only way to download Google Vids files. For more information, see this. Cool. Okay. Yep. We get to that, but we're getting our data. So with all the work we've been able to do, at the very least, we have all these things working for us. So that's building. We want to test it in prod. That's what makes a difference, man. Everything else is just part of the journey there. I shall figure out the rest in a few. Let's just make sure this is building and it's working, and then we can head out and like check something else. This one's cool. Let's head over here. Production. Logged in already. That's cool. Let me go a little bit further. Get the files made within the first quarter of 2024. Yeah, it keeps on doing this mistake. I just need to give it better instructions for that. So first quarter, guidelines for HNG LAN courses. Yeah, I was at the time working on courses for HNG, climate change hack lab, advanced algorithms. Yeah, so I was developing the curriculum for HNG, algorithms class. Class 3 sorting, lesson 2 arrays. Nice. This is a good way to go back. So PDFs. Okay, so let's just look at Pico. So give me a summary of the algorithms and big O documents. Wait, we said first quarter, and these are last modified. Wait, 2024. Yeah, I worked on it on the first quarter. Also, it's just telling me the modified. It should have told me like also the date it was created. As a mentor, no, I didn't go as a mentor, but they were starting. HNG offers some courses now. If you go to their website, you can find like other courses other than the internship. And I was tasked with the algorithms for like interviews class. So I was like teaching algorithms. I never got to actually teach because while we were working on that, I got like a full-time job and got engaged somewhere else. But like I had finished building the curriculum, the examples, and the repository, all of that. So yeah. But yeah, it's cool. I need to get back. I love teaching. I need to find some way of like teaching this stuff and like building these things. So let's see if it can give us a summary for that document, and then we like call it a day. Nice. So it did get in summary from you. Okay, the summary serves as an introduction to algorithms, explaining the importance. Yeah, if we go look at the logs, definitely they should be here. Export file. Google Drive. Then we got like a response. HNV advanced, fundamentals, who am I, who are you, what's your name, master core data structures, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it worked. Oh yeah, this is not that one, this is the one. So everything works fine. We can see that it's cool. I'm going to take a small break now, but like, thank you. I have a schedule up. The goal is to start every day at 10, every weekday at 10 a.m. Today was a bit late because I like woke up feeling a bit weird, but see you tomorrow. Next time, same place. Before we go, I want us to see if we can rate a channel. Anyone like I follow who's live right now? Looking at branch predictions, I think him. So let's just jump there, and thank you so much for like coming.